Hello all, my name is Krish Nayak and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, in this specific video, we are going to build a generative AI application, and then with the help of Docker, we are going to Dockerize it and deploy it in Hugging Face space. Now, what is the generative AI application that we are going to develop? Here I have actually explained. So we are going to probably use, we are going to develop a text generation application using LLM models. And here we are also going to use transformers. Along with transformers, we are going to specifically use pipeline. Okay. So in transformers, you have this feature of pipeline, an amazing package, which actually helps you to call multiple LLM models from transformer itself. So this entire process of creating this will be, it will probably take around 20 to 25 minutes. But again, my main aim is to make sure to show you how we can probably containerize this entire generative AI application with the help of Docker and finally deploy it with in the Hugging Face space. Other than that, if you also want to probably go ahead and deploy in other cloud platforms like AWS and Azure, you can also do that, right? But the most important thing is about Dockerization. How with the help of Dockers, we can actually do that. And if you don't know about Dockers, guys, I have already created an amazing one-shot video. I will be putting that entire link in the description of this particular video, where you can probably check it out. Complete one short video on Dockers, how to build application, how to containerize it, how to create an images. Everything is discussed over here. But most of our work right now, which we are specifically working on, we will try to do it in the Hugging Face space. Okay. So step by step, first of all, what we will do in our first step, we will go ahead and create our generative AI application. In the second step, we will probably create our Dockerfile. While we are creating this generative AI application, we also need to make sure that we will be using some libraries like Fast API, right, which actually helps us to create a end-to-end projects. Along with this, we'll also update requirements.txt file, right? So requirements.txt file will also get updated with respect to all the packages that we require. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's build this entire project. And again, if you don't have a Hugging Face account, please make sure that you do that. And when you go to the Hugging Face homepage, there will be an option of something called as spaces. Now inside the spaces, you'll be able to see that here we will be able to create our own deployment environment and all, which I will be showing you after I develop the entire project. So let's go ahead and let's start this specific project. So guys, now let's proceed towards implementing this entire project over here. So here I've actually opened a VS Code. First of all, what we are going to basically do is that go ahead and open our terminal. And once we open our terminal, we have to probably go ahead and create our new environment so that we will be able to implement this specific project. So first of all, what I'm actually going to do, I'm just going to write conda create -p VNV Python =, here I'm actually going to use 3.9, and by default I'm going to give yes, so that I proceed with the installation of all the basic libraries that are actually required. So once this installation takes place, it is probably going to take some amount of time. Now what I'm actually going to do over here is that let's go ahead and first of all create our requirement.txt file. So quickly we will go ahead and create our requirement.txt file. So requirements.txt file. Okay. Now in this requirement.txt file, I'm going to update all the requirements that I specifically require. So first of all, we require Fast API, we require request, we require UBCon. UBCon is basically required in order to run your framework with the help of Fast API library. Then we have the sentence based. Along with that, we will also be using Torch, because the generative AI application that we are specifically going to use, the models that we are going to use requires Torch. Along with that, Transformer is another library. Inside Transformer, we also have a package which is called as Pipeline, which will actually help you to call any models that are available in the Hugging Face. Okay. So here you can see that my environment has been created. Now what I can actually do is that go ahead and proceed with the installation of all the libraries. So in order to do that, pip install, just go ahead and write -r requirement.txt. Okay. Now see how we are specifically doing this, right? Okay, I did not save the requirement.txt, no worries. So let me just go ahead and proceed with the installation again. Now let this installation take place, right? Inside my VNV environment, all the libraries will get installed. But when we are deploying in Hugging Face spaces, right, as soon as we upload this requirement.txt along with our main file, that is app.py, right, here automatically the installation of requirement of TST has to be done, right? And for that, we are also going to create another Docker file. So here is what we are going to use this. So I have also created a Docker file over here. We will go ahead and update like how step by step, how we are going to probably create a container for this entire application, and how step by step what all execution needs to happen. That all will be mentioned in the Docker file. So in short, we are going to create a package in this Docker file. So one by one, we will go ahead with. Now, since our fast API is getting installed, right? So first of all, what I'm actually going to do is that let's go proceed and let's go ahead and start writing our code. So as I said, I'm going to create a generative AI application for text generation. Okay, it can be a text to text generation, right? You can also use any other models that you want. So for fast API, so I'm going to import from fast API import. Okay, and here I'm going to basically use fast API, right? So this is the first library that I'm actually going to use, since I've already put up in the requirement.txt. Then from transformers, I'm going to import pipeline, right? We're also going to use the pipeline library, right? So transformers spelling is wrong, so that is the reason I think it is giving us some errors. So from transformers import transformer pipeline. We are going to proceed. We have to use this pipeline itself, right? So that we'll be able to call any LLM models that are present in Hugging Face. Okay, and now what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to go ahead and create a new fast API, right? App instance. Okay, and here I'm going to probably create my app, which I am going to write it as fast API. Okay, so this is what I've actually done. Now let me go ahead and create my text generation pipeline. So here I'm just going to go ahead and create my text generation pipeline, and for that I will create a variable called as pipe, and I will initialize this pipeline. And here I'm going to use some different models. So one of the most common model that you can probably find it out, and it requires less space, because see, a Hugging Face space provides you free resources, to deploy the entire application, but it will be limited for, from, I think the CPU will be limited over there, the hard disk will be limited, the RAM will be limited. So we will try to select Google. Let's say I will go ahead with this specific model, which is called as Flan T5 small. I think T5 small will also be there. Let's see, Flan T5 small. Okay, so Flan T5 small, we will go ahead with this model, because this model, again, it will be requiring less space. And again, if you see this, you'll be able to use this model with the help of transformer. All you have to go ahead and write this code, or you can also probably start with this pipeline, right? So with the help of pipeline also, you'll be able to call it, and that is what I am planning to do it. So I will go ahead and probably copy this. Okay, and I'm going to use this specific model, text to text generation, along with the pipeline. So same code, I will be pasting it over here, and you can also do it from your side. Just copy it or use any type of model that you want. Okay, now I'm going to probably go ahead and create my first route, which will be my home page in my fast API. And let's say I'm going to basically go ahead and write, so this will basically be my home directory, right? And let's return this particular message saying that hello world, or message is hello world, something. Okay, I'm just displaying some return message for the home page, so that I'll be able to see that whether everything is working fine. Now I'm going to generate a function to handle some GET request. Okay, and this will be like /generate. Okay, now here what I'm actually going to do is that I'm going to create my app.get route. Okay, get basically means your first, and here I'm going to basically write generate. Okay, so get is just for taking request, right? It's not post. So here I'm going to probably create this particular route, and let me just go ahead and create my generate function. So here I'm going to use my generate, and this text will be str. So whatever text I give over here, it should be able to do the post to my pipe message. Okay, and this suggestion that you'll be able to see that I'm actually getting it from GitHub Copilot, or okay, I recently installed Amazon Q Whisper, and that is how I'm able to get it. Okay, now the next step, what I'm actually going to do over here is that I'm going to use the pipeline to generate text from given input text. Okay, input text. So I've done that, and this will basically be my output, which will be assigned to my pipe, right? The pipe that I have actually defined, the pipeline. Okay, and this will be given the text that we have given over here. Okay, so once we get the text, after that we can return the generated text in JSON. Okay, JSON response. And this is how simple it is with the help of Hugging Face transformers, right? And here I'm going to basically return. So this will basically be return whatever is my output. So that I will give it in the form of key output colon, and from the output we will be getting this particular response that we saw, right? It will be coming in the form of list. And over there, if you go ahead and see the documentation of Google Flan T5 small, it gives you the output in a key variable which is called as generated underscore text. Okay, now once you have actually done this, so here what we have done is that we have created our home page, we have created our /generate, and the best thing about Fast API is that it provides you Swagger documentation, which we will discuss about once we run this entire application in the cloud. Okay, so till here I hope everybody may have understood it, and we have seen that how things are basically created, and with the help of Fast API we are also able to see that how a simple LLM application has been generated, which will be able to perform text-to-text generation. Okay. Now let's go back to the Dockerfile. Now this is the most important thing, guys, because here inside the Dockerfile we will show that how we can actually Dockerize this entire application. So first of all, I will go ahead and write use the official. Okay, since we have also created Python 3.9, right? Python 3.9 image. So for this, what is the command that is used in Docker? You have to write from Python 3.9. And if you don't know about Dockers, guys, again, I'm telling you, I've created a one-shot video in my channel. The link will be present in the description and even in the pinned comment of this particular video. Okay. And then you can also see set the working directory to /code. Okay. And I will just go ahead and write work directory and my directory path. So directory path will be /code. Inside this, I want to probably create my working directory. And then the next step will be that copy the current directory contents in the container at /code, the /code path that I've actually given. So for this, we will use a copy command. So here I will just go ahead and write requirements.txt, and this will basically get copied to code /requirements.txt. Okay, so first of all, we require this, right? Requirement.txt. Here what we are going to do is that because this requirement.txt has all the packages, and I think the spelling is correct, requirement.txt. Okay, it has all the packages, and here you'll be able to see that, right? Then we will go ahead and install the requirements.txt. So this is the next step. We have to probably go ahead and do this because unless and until the requirement.txt does not get installed, it will be of no use. And this will basically be installed from this particular code environment, right? Code folder. So here we are writing pip install with no cache directory upgrade -r requirement.txt. So how we install in our local, right? Similarly, pip install -r requirement.txt. But along with this, we are also setting up some parameters like no cache and all, right? Then see, since you know that when this image is basically created and once we host it, right, it is also important that we go ahead and create a user, right? So here we set up a new user named user, like run add user, switch the user to user, right? So this particular user, we are just switching it. Okay, and it is good to do this because since we are executing in a separate environment, right? And then finally, we also go ahead and set the home to user home directory. Like initially it was /home/user. Now we are going to probably set this particular path. Okay, so environment variable, we are setting it completely. This is how you basically set the environment variable. And now we are going to update our working directory, because inside this /home/user, your app will be also present, right? So this is my working directory, the new working directory that we have actually set it up. And this is nothing but the user home directory, right? Then one more step we really need to do is that we need to copy the current directory contents into the home app folder, right? So that is what we are going to do over here. And let me just go ahead and use this particular command. And again, if you're familiar with Dockers, I hope, or Linux, a little bit of Linux, you'll be able to understand it. So here we are copying all the current directories. This dot is with respect to the current directories into the container at home/app. Okay. Then finally, in order to run the FastApp app, right? Start the Fast API app. Okay. And here I'm going to use the port 7680 or 7860, or you can use any port that you want. Okay. So for Fast API, you know that what are the dependencies that you require. We are going to create a command prompt, uvicon app:app basically indicates that app is my file name, and this is where your execution basically starts. You are entering, you are creating an instance of Fast API, right? So that is the reason we have created over here host, and this is 0.0.0, where it needs to it is the local host in whatever cloud environment you basically run, and there we are going to run in the port number 7680. Okay, so this is my entire Docker file, and here we have actually created it. Now the next step is that I already have something called as Docker desktop. Okay, so if I go ahead and show you Docker desktop, okay, now I can build this entire application with the help of Dockers. I can create an image over here itself, and along with that image, I can install that particular image. And for that, everything you require a Docker desktop. So if you go ahead and search for Docker desktop, right? So with the help of Docker desktop, you will be able to do it, right? And you have for Windows, Mac, and Linux, right? But the only requirement with respect to using Docker desktop is that you at least need to have Windows 10, right? And then you'll be able to, you can see it is a out-of-box containerization software offering development and team of robot hybrid toolkit to build, share, and run application anywhere, right? So all these things are there. But see, I have already shown you, if you want to see my detailed one-shot video, I've shown you how to install this, how to start with this and all. But here what we are going to do is that we are going to probably create our new space, and we'll do all the work over here, right? So let me just go ahead and write text to text with Dockers. Okay, so this is my application. Here I am having an option to select Docker. Right now, so many different templates are supported by this, right, in the Hugging Face. So here you have Jupyter Lab, here you have AIM-Stack, Auto Train and all. So I will be keeping it blank. Now, as I said, right, Hugging Face Space provides you 16 GB RAM free and 2 V CPU. This is the basic one. You also have 8 V CPU at 32 GB, but for this you will be required some charges, right? But here I'm going to go with this free one just to show you how you can actually do it. And finally, we go ahead and create the space. Let's see if any, okay, I have to use any license. So let me just go ahead and select any license as such. So MIT license. And now let me go ahead and, okay, so I don't need to probably provide spaces. So remove all the spaces over here. And now let's click on create space. Now, once this is done, you can see, you can clone this over here. Everything is there. And right now within this particular application, the files is empty, right? And that is what I'm actually going to do, right? So I'm going to open this entire file. Let's say reveal in file explorer. And these are all my files that I want, right? These are all my files. I require one app.py, docker.requirement.txt. Now what I will do, I will upload it over here. Okay, so let me just go ahead and upload it, and let me copy and paste it over here, right? So once I upload it, now you see what will happen, right? Because already in the Docker, I have given all the commands that needs to get followed, right? All these particular commands, right? So as soon as I probably put this Docker file over there, and since this is already supporting that Docker environment, automatically this file should run. Okay, so now let me just go ahead and click on commit to changes. Now, as soon as this is uploaded, I will go ahead and click on app. Now here you can see my entire build has actually started. See, all Dockers user is adding. See, all the commands with respect to the Docker is getting executed one by one, right? And here it is, right? Now pushing the images, exporting cache. Now it goes to the container, right? And now this container is going to probably run all these things. So no module named transformers. Let me just go ahead and see whether I have updated transformers. Okay. And I think I've done a small spelling mistake over here. Let me just go ahead and see app.py. Yes. So it should be transformers. So I had done some spelling mistake, but it's okay. Okay. Now what I'm actually going to do, again, go ahead and update this app.py. So let me quickly upload the file. And again, okay, I don't want all the three files. So I'll just keep this app.py. Okay. Now, as soon as I upload any of the file or I commit any changes, right, automatically this build process will start. See this. Automatically the build process will start, and that is how beautiful it is, right? Now just imagine, I've created so many videos on generative AI applications. Now, you know, if you have even paid version with respect to Hugging Face and all, you can do all these things very much easily, right? Now, as you all know that my home page should get launched. So I should be able to get some kind of response as if this gets executed perfectly. That is in my app.py, at least I should be getting this message. Return message is equal to hello world. Okay, if it executes perfectly fine, right? So let's see how much time it is probably going to take, right? And again, see all the steps. Build has happened, everything has happened. We have pushed the image over here. Automatically, this is doing. Now this has run. See, run, and this is where you are getting it, right? Here you are getting this hello world. Perfect, right? So that basically means something is working. Okay. Now the next thing is that how do I see the Swagger part, right? Swagger, that is this /generate and all. And for that, I obviously require some kind of URL. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click, see in this corner, right? You have something over here, right? So here you have below this settings, you have some button which is called embed this space. Now, once you do this, you can either use this as iframe. So right now this entire page is basically getting used as iframe. But you want a direct URL, you can click on this, right? So here is my direct URL, right? And here you're getting message hello world, okay? Now let me do one thing. Let me just go ahead and write /docs. If I go ahead and write /docs, so Fast API provides this entire Swagger UI documentation, which will be able to show you in this way, right? All the APIs, like what all APIs are there, like /home is there, right? /generate. Now /generate is what, right? If you remember, what we developed in /generate, we are just going to give this particular text, and this is going to probably generate the output based on the pipeline that we have created from this particular model, right? So this is my entire generative AI application. Now, if you want to try it out, right? So just click on try it out and just write, hey, tell me about machine learning. Okay. And this is done. I will just go ahead and execute it. Now here you should see this curl is going with all this response, and output a machine learning algorithm is basically coming up, right? So here you can probably see a simple output. Yes, we can go ahead and do the settings with respect to this. Okay. So this is text to text generation, right? I'm giving a text and all. Okay. Let me just, honesty is something. I'll just go ahead and write this. Let's see what honesty is a virtue. So it is completing the entire sentence. So in short, we are doing the text generation, right? And here you can see when I just write 2 words, it is being able to give me all the other words also. Okay. Let's say I go ahead and write more things. Like I can try multiple things over here. How to be happy. Okay. How to be a happy person. See, the sentence is getting completed, right? And this is most like a text generation concept where it is trying to complete the entire sentence. And that is what is the power of Google Flan T5, right? If you probably go ahead and see multiple examples, and this is completely based on transformers, right? And here you can see how beautifully we are able to run this using Swagger UI in the fast with the help of Fast API. And we are able to see that, yes, now everything is deployed over here. So yes, I hope you like this particular video. I will also be giving you the link of the Fast API over here, Hugging Face space, my link in the description of this particular video. Other than that, go ahead and try it out. And yes, definitely keep on using Dockers. Right now, every company is demanding the usage of Dockers itself. So yes, this was it. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.